Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Welcome back to the dojo. Today's episode, obviously, St. Patrick's theme. So we've got our St. Patrick's Day trivia. We've got our top 5 Irish movies, and we've got our fight scene joke of the week. So make sure you like, subscribe. Stay tuned for the show, everybody. Welcome back to the dojo, everybody. This is TruTalk with TruMotion, where a couple of guys talk about how to make the world a better place and hopefully make your day a little bit better in the process. My name is Mark, followed by my co-host Emperor Palpatine, apparently. So
that is the one thing I like. I'm not gonna get sponsored by these hoodies. These hoodies are amazing.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that the hood is huge and that there's like substance to it. Instead of feeling like a wet piece of toilet paper that you stick on your head and it's just like,
Yeah.
and it just, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like Carhartt stuff too. It's good.
Yeah, I mean it's
strong, durable clothing. So.
Speaking of Carhartt, have you seen there's a meme video that went around where this guy is getting out of his truck and he's got like this Carhartt jacket on and stuff like that. This other guy comes up, he's got his hair pulled up in a man bun and everything else. It looks like a, freaking yuppie. He says, "Oh my gosh, is that the vintage Carhartt?" And he just like goes off and he's like, "What?" And he looks around like, "What are you talking about? The jacket you're wearing. The jacket. Where did you get that?" My truck. Oh, and look, it looks so vintage. I'll give you $500 for it. And he's like, "Huh? What? I don't." Yeah, he's $500. How about $600? I'll give you $600 for it. It's like, yeah, you like this? Yeah, I got some more stuff back in my truck.
Yeah, sold him all his old
work clothes. Calls up, "Boss, I ain't coming into work today."
Yeah. No, I don't know what happened, but that whole like Carhartt turning into this like
a fashion brand.
Yeah.
A fashion brand. Like,
yes.
Are you joking me? What's the same thing? Like, I remember when Dickies went through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, like Dickies is what those are work clothes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, back in the day when I was, and it's really kind of interesting to kind of look back at companies I used to work for.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were a kid growing up, going to college, whatever. And because I honestly don't think that it's not like, the good old days, where you kind of glorify, the past memory. But it's like looking back at it now, it's like, no, it was distinctly different.
Yeah.
And so, like, I worked for Albertsons and as a bag boy for years. And back when I was there was a very, very specific, strict dress code.
Yeah.
That if you were working there, this is what you wore. Even for the bag boys, like for the bag boys, it was like black pants, and it wasn't like they could be black jeans or they had to be like black dress pants.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like black shoes but they couldn't be like, well, you've got your black sneaker. No, they had to like be almost like kind of like, I don't want to say dress shoes, but that type kind
just
of.
Not sneakers.
Yes. And then we had to wear like a white polo shirt, which is like ridiculous when you're like having to bag groceries and clean up stuff because your shirt gets ridiculously dirty. But when I was first working there, like I would go through like dress pants like mad crazy, and when you're a kid, you're just like, dude, like I'm getting paid like, $6 an hour, and then I've got to go buy pants and everything else. And this freaking sucks. And so I was like, all right. When I found out they're, Dickies. Mm-hmm. And it was just a very plain pant, had like a flat front. So there's no cuff, but I mean, they looked like they were dress pants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, I'll give them a shot, and they fit and they kind of like feel good. Okay. I'll give those a shot. I don't think I ever bought another pair of pants after that.
No, they like that canvas type material.
Dude, yes, and it was amazing. I was like,
forever.
oh, dude, like these pants are the best.
Yeah. And then when you feel like they're worn out, that's when they just get broken in.
Yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
they're finally like they won't stand up by themselves because the fabric's still
Yeah.
so stiff.
Exactly.
Oh man,
It's like an old gi.
yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, when you first get it, it's all stiff.
It's all like it will literally will stand by itself.
It probably could.
Yeah.
And then, just over years of wearing it and just.
The ink gets faded.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Master Martin's mom's got a old gi that it like patinaed gray. So it's like a gray gi
no
now.
way.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Well, yeah, but because the only company that really made those that did that was Schrader.
Yeah.
Because of the ink process and everything else that they did. And
I don't even think Sharado is still a thing.
Dude, the story behind that, I don't know if it's just legend or if it's the actual way that the story went. For those of you guys who do know, Sharado's was a martial art company that made uniforms, like traditional Japanese gis and belts and stuff like that. They were kind of like the gold standard of like what everybody aspired to be at.
Yeah.
And those were the ones that like literally out of the package came and they were like extremely soft.
Yeah.
And the fabric was super thick. Like it was like ultra brushed cotton. I mean, it was ridiculous. The price on them was kind of ridiculous too, but
yeah, they were expensive.
But you would start you go through them and wash them the first time, and you'd get that weird modeling that would go through the whole entire thing, and just over time, just keep washing them and everything else, like it would just slowly fade, and kind of to go along with the tradition of martial artists and stuff like that, to have that type of uniform was like, oh, you've been here for a while.
Yeah,
you could just instantly
like
look and be like,
it.
Okay.
And the belts like wore really well.
Yeah.
So when you start to, again, for non like trainers, for people that train, a black belt after time starts to wear, and it becomes less and less black.
Yeah.
And it becomes more and more white. And those Sharado belts just wore just fantastic.
Yeah. And and when they did start to wear down, the threads and stuff like that, the black threads over the white core of it would like come off in a very specific manner. And it was one of those things that even if you didn't have any stripes on it at all,
you knew that
you could just look at the belt and you're like, oh, you've been here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because that only matters to people that train.
Right.
Because I remember Master Martin telling us a story where, he was in Taylorsville and, his belt started to wear and
right.
This and that. And like at that point, like as an instructor and as a, martial artist, you're like I'm starting to like put some time in and this and that. It's like kind of like a badge of honor.
Right.
And then one of his students comes up to him and is like, Sensei, do you need me to buy you a new belt? And he's just like, ugh. It just totally deflated him and is like,
for people who don't know, it's like, Sensei looks like he's homeless. It's like, no, like that's.
Yep. So it's like he said, he goes, after that, he goes, when it starts to get too worn, he goes, I buy a new belt because it's just one of those things to where the perception of it is
that you're not making it.
Yep. But even though the reality is the exact opposite.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember Bushido, I remember Chad telling me this story. Bushido actually misplaced Jack Turner's belt.
I remember this.
Yeah, and they were putting an extra stripe on it for him. I can't remember which one, if it was his 7th or 8th or
I was
whatever.
about to say, it was like I was about to say 7th, but
yeah, and they couldn't find it, and everybody was panicking because it was like his
original belt.
It was his original belt, and that damn thing is basically white with like a black stripe through it almost.
Right.
I mean, it is crazy how non-black that really is.
Yeah.
And they're searching, and then one of their new hires was like looking somewhere, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want me to do with this old belt?"
You found it.
Yeah, and it was his, and he was going to throw it away because he thought it was garbage.
Junk. Yeah, thought it was junk.
So it's like, damn, that's funny. But I don't even know how we got on that topic. Oh yeah, clothing.
Yeah,
There we
clothing.
go.
Clothing.
Yeah, Carhartt and
Oh
hoodies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dude.
But
Yeah,
anyways, how was your week? So it's our St. Patrick's Day episode. So those that
St.
can't
Patty's
see,
Day.
Tony does have green pants on. So, yep. See, whoa,
Oh, whoops.
look at that.
Hold on.
There you go, green pants. I have.
I threw my kick, but then like the field of view is here.
Yeah.
My kick was over there. The kick looked good. I mean, as you could see from Mark's face.
Whoa.
Oh, it's up there. Yes, I can still get my foot up there.
There you go.
I'm gonna put my foot in your ass.
Yeah, that's a great movie. If you know that reference, leave it in the comments. But how was the 10,000th volleyball tournament?
Oh my gosh! So again, the mental psychology that goes on in these, like I didn't generally like in all of the games and stuff that I've ever done before, you know, because I did baseball for forever.
Yeah.
And when you go play a baseball game, you play a game.
Yeah.
Right, and then you're done. And then granted, you have 9 innings of that to kind of like mentally go through. Like you're up to bat, you're out in the field, like back and forth, back and forth. And so, but it's one game. Same thing like basketball. You go, you play a game, you're done.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
I've been in tournaments where you play 2 or 3 games a day.
But oh my gosh, like to watch the psychology develop in these young girls and give so much, credence to the coach for not losing her crap.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it's one of those things that, and for a lot of parents out there, you guys are going to understand that there is a frustration that comes when you know that your child is not performing at where they can.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, and again, I'm not saying like, oh, you push yourself really, really hard, and then this is where I expect you to be, pushing yourself really, really hard all of the time. There are some parents that are out there like that. I'm white. I am not like that. So, but to know it's like you're not even hitting the norm of what you are because it's a psychological thing is got to be so frustrating, especially for a coach.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it's the same thing when you teach here. It's like when you see the kids just kind of phoning it in.
Yes.
And you're like, yeah, I've seen you do better.
Yeah.
Like, why are you not doing that right now?
Yeah. I mean, the great thing about that I always kind of fell back on, and again, I don't think there's that much of it there that gives the stark realization that, holy crap, I need to like dial in my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we start phoning it in here, especially in sparring, you're going to get punched.
Yeah. Yeah, you get instant feedback.
It is instant feedback to the face.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've got to wake up,
mm-hmm.
And generally it's that first hit or two that you're like, oh, okay, I got to wake up now. But yeah, just, watching them go through that, like I give the coach a lot of props just because it's got to be ridiculously hard. Because again, with, I don't care what people say, men and women are different. I don't care. Shut your face. Shut up. Psychologically, they're different. There are certain things that you can say to boys that you can't say to girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, and again, like there were, if I were the coach, I probably would have destroyed that team, knowing me.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because when it comes to athletics, psychologically, I think competitors are the same. So, because like I remember Maya when she was in dance.
Yeah.
They would get laid into by their coach.
Really?
And truthfully, when it comes to competing, like I said, obviously there are physical differences between men and women. Like we're not even going to start to debate that, but
Right.
it's when it comes to competing, a good coach will treat you the same regardless if you're a boy or a girl because you're competing.
Yeah.
Okay. So to be like, oh, well, I can't yell at these girls because they're girls competing in a athletic, you got to check the coach on that one. Now, you have to take the temperature of your team. So if
Right.
your team has a bunch of, when I say soft, I don't mean it as an insult, but like a little bit more emotional
Yep.
players, then yelling at them will not help.
No.
If your team is filled with like a bunch of like harder players,
Thick-skinned rhinos. Yeah.
yelling at them will absolutely help.
Mm-hmm.
Being nice to them will actually make them worse. So I don't even necessarily think it's a case of like boys and girls. I think it's a case of what your team's made of.
I agree. I can totally see that.
And hopefully your team is mixed with both.
Yeah.
Because if you just like have a team filled with like those like, hey, players that like will help validate how you feel, your team's going to be garbage.
Yes.
If you have a team filled with kids that are just all like, don't care how you feel, the team's going to fracture and they're going to be at each other's throats. So you have to find, and that's where it's like, you'll see it like when organizations try to build these like quote unquote super teams.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't work
Yeah.
because the chemistry on the team isn't there. You know, I equate it back to, of course, I'll talk about the Eagles, but when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they had this player named C.J. Gardner Johnson, and he was that like, I'm gonna yell at you, the emotional leader, like hype man, this and that, and like he'd be on your ass all the time. They'd be competing in practice, this and that, and he brought that level of like quote unquote dog to the defense. Well, he wasn't on the defense last year, and you could tell that there was a step back.
Right.
And it's just like you need those players that will like hype you up, get in your face, yell at you, blah, blah, blah. And then you'll have players that like Jalen Hurts, who's very soft-spoken, quiet, but yet he can like scream and yell, but that's not really his MO,
Right.
so to speak.
Right.
It's like he's the calm. You need the fire and the ice.
Yeah.
Same thing with the relationship.
Well, I kind of look at it this. It's funny because the more that I watch this, the more, and again, like I love, the '90s Bulls.
Oh yeah,
Because the personality dynamic on that team could not have been more polar opposite.
yes, I agree.
From Michael Jordan, who literally would be working his tail end off night and day to make sure that he was going to be the best, period.
Mm-hmm.
Not like better than this person, better that, but no. I am the best, done.
Yep.
To, again, Scottie Pippen, very much like, Hurts, quiet, not too big, I'm not going to get in people's faces and stuff like that, which even, one of the documentary that they did about Michael Jordan on Netflix, which was awesome.
Was it The Last Dance?
Yeah.
That was on. They moved it to Netflix. It was from ESPN.
Oh yeah, ESPN did it.
That's a great show.
So good. But again, because Scottie Pippen was so quiet, even Jordan says like, yeah, so that affected his ability to negotiate and stuff like that because he wasn't, he didn't have that fight in him, which is fine. And then you had Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. He was the wild card.
Who was the wild card and who was literally, he was that guy. It was almost like hockey rules where you have an enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm here to get rebounds and everything else. And if you go against any of my players, I will end you.
Yeah.
And
every team had one of those in the 90s.
Oh, every team had one of those. I mean, some teams, that's just who they were.
Yeah.
Like
that wasn't the 90s, but the 80s Pistons.
Oh, the Pistons. Oh, my gosh, the whole team was that.
Yeah. Bill Laimbeer. Yeah, the Knicks, they had, what was it? Oh, was it Chuck? I think his name was Chuck. But yeah, they had a whole bunch of just bruisers
Oh yeah,
where they would throw hands and not even care.
yeah. Oh, not even care. Not even
Yeah.
care. I mean, Charles Barkley. I mean, good grief.
Yeah, Charles Barkley. Shaq kind of was like
Shack
that.
Attack. Yeah, I mean, dude, he was that. That's exactly who he was.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, but again, I think you're right. They had in that team the personality and the psychological makeup dynamic was so varied
Mm-hmm.
that, and this is one thing that, again, if you look at great coaches, and it really makes me wonder because, I mean, Phil Jackson, in my opinion, probably one of the greatest NBA coaches of all time.
Yeah.
And I say that not necessarily because he came up with like a lot of really awesome plays and stuff like that, but because of his ability to manage the different personalities that were on that court.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't small personalities either.
I agree.
Bigger than life, everything else. And I'm really trying to think of like the number of times that I saw Phil Jackson lose his crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yell, scream, you know, even at refs or at his own team or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even think that was Phil Jackson's MO.
No.
Especially as he got older when he turned into the quote unquote Zen master.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it just wasn't him.
Yeah.
And he was extremely effective at that. And I'm like, okay. Like there's something there. There's something with that quiet determination of like, I'm the authority, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna yell at you.
Yeah. Well, and
but I will tell you that you're sucking up.
Yeah, I look at that as like with John Wooden too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mean, he held such a high standard that if you didn't meet it, he didn't care who you were.
Right.
He'd be like, you're on the bench or you're off the team.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he had a no dunking rule,
mm-hmm.
It's like, what? So people would jump up and literally like drop it in the hoop.
so it wasn't dunking.
They weren't dunking, but they were. But he got the best out of all his players. Yeah. I mean, you can't deny his record.
Right.
So.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's where it's like coaching. There is an art to coaching
mm-hmm.
and teaching and all that stuff. So it's like you have to practice it just like the players do.
Right.
And every team and every season and every situation is different.
And I think that, I mean, especially for those of us that are martial art instructors, like I feel like for me, I learned a lot about that just mm-hmm. coming up through the years. You know, in the very beginning, you know, I would of course do what was done to me, right? Mm-hmm. You know, and yell and scream and, you know, intimidate that, you know, by way of fear or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or like, if you didn't do it right, I'm going to make you do push-ups because, you know, that's okay. So I guess that's how I learned. So I guess that's right. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just like, yeah, but did I like that? Did I actually learn from that? No. You know, it's like, okay, well then what's the best way to go about that and to kind of change that? And by the time I was done at the end, like I wasn't yelling or screaming or anything else. It's like, no, this is just what you do.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've talked about that numerous times together as instructors where you tend to fall back on how, quote unquote, you were trained.
Yeah.
But that's your perception of how you were trained. So like you said, when you're like at a test and people are yelling and screaming at you.
Yeah.
Were they yelling and screaming, or is that how you took it?
No, it was Russell. We were yelling. Yeah,
well, yeah. there were some. Yes. Some of the things. Yes, absolutely. Where you got beat, you got hit, you were yelled at, you ran a lot. Some of them, yes. But then all of a sudden you start to look at it, and it's like majority of it was really no. But yet we were under such pressure,
right,
that it seemed heightened,
right.
So even this whole like, "Hey, focus," turned into like somebody screaming and yelling at you in our head.
I can understand that. Yeah,
but
I see that.
Yeah, I mean, we did grow up in a different era where
it was a totally different era.
You got beat, you got hit, and
that's the thing. Like, you know, back in the day when you and I were going down to California all the time. And then we would, you know, go to like the different instructors and train with them. I think that's really kind of when I started to see like, oh, maybe the way that we were trained, and I'm not going to say it was right or wrong,
It's just different.
but maybe there's a better way.
Well, there's a different way.
A different way. And like,
yeah.
I mean, Jack Turner was probably one of the best examples of that
Mm-hmm.
at that time, because he's probably like one of the most even-keeled guys that are out there,
Yeah, he doesn't really get too heated.
too heated, doesn't get too hopped up, you know. And sometimes I remember his name. It's the Sometimers that I've got in my head. Jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh, Richard Cespedes.
Cespedes. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Just like, oh yeah, this is what you do, you know?
Yeah.
I don't understand why you do. It's so easy.
It's so easy. Maybe
and then
for you.
Yeah. And then like Brent, like training with Brent, like, you know, and it's kind of funny because Brent's got this, it's like the calmest storm that, you know, he's there and everything else. And when you're like learning forms from him, it's super fun. But then when you're sparring with him, he's like, it's scary. You know, like there's this power and the strength and the storm behind, like, I'm just going to relax and I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was watching some videos, some training videos that we've taken over the years. And I watched a couple that Brent did for us, and I was like, holy crap, he's good.
Dude, I mean, there's certain, and this is one thing that, you know, I'm really, really fortunate to have, you know, been in this sphere and taught and everything else and met the people that I have, because, you know, some really, really awesome people. And he's one of those.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Speaking of people, I talked to Covey this week.
Oh, no way!
And I'm like, sounds like he's going to do the tournament with us.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Now, I don't know if he'll be there.
Right.
But he's going to send students.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
He says he's going to try. If he doesn't show up the whole day, he says he's going to come towards the end.
Right.
Because I agree with him wholeheartedly on this. He's like, I'm not going to send enough students to close the school for a day.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I get it, dude. Just, it's like, you know how we run tournaments. You know,
right.
we'll have a good time.
Right.
So, but yeah, apparently he doesn't do forms anymore.
Nope, he doesn't.
School. So they're just coming to do
the sparring.
And yeah. So it was good talking to him. He was super, super appreciative of just being offered the opportunity to come do the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, I love Jason. Like, he and we still, so I have the Oculus, the MetaQuest 3. And we'll get on about once a week.
Okay.
And we all get on, and it ranges between, like, I think 4 different games that we have on there. One of them is, I think it's called Dungeons of Eternity. And like, you have like a shield, like it is literally like medieval type. You've got like a shield and a sword and stuff like that. And you go battle zombies and monsters and stuff.
Okay.
And the first time I played it, the next day I was like, texted Jason, I'm like, dude, my shoulder hurts. Because you've got your controllers in your hand and you're like sitting there and like, for those of you who haven't done VR, it's awesome. Please do it. Just go. Some people like, they get VR sickness and stuff like that, whatever. But it's awesome. But like, these like monsters are coming, they're in your face, and you're sitting there and you're like, I'm really swinging and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm dying. I've got sweat dripping off me and everything else. My shoulder dies. And he just laughs. And remember Scott, right? Scott Benedict. So he's on this group with us.
Okay.
And so we all get together. I'm like, I'm dying. And Scott's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm standing here playing the game. And he's like, oh. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I play it in my bed. I'm like, how do you do this and play it in your bed? He says, I just kind of sit there and I just like, kind of my controllers just enough to make the movements happen. And I was like, really? So,
like, you're lame. What is Scott doing now?
He's been in the Air Force the whole.
Okay, I was gonna say, he's still in the Air Force.
Yeah, still in the Air Force. He's I want to say he's an EMT.
And he was married to Christine at one point, correct?
Yeah. So they got married in the very, very beginning. Had 2 kids with her. Ended in divorce. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, Scott was like, he was on his way out, like when I was kind of on my way in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, because I was running West Jordan at the time when he was up in Layton, and Ryan Whitaker was running Bountiful. Ryan Whitaker bounced, and yeah, dude, and Ryan's freaking killing it. Like I see him every once in a while.
What's he doing?
So he works for York, I think. I think it's York or Yoast, York, the air conditioning refrigeration company. And I was like, really? Like, what do you do? And he says, well, he first started in sales. And I was like, oh, like, I'm like, okay, so that makes sense because of what we do.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like residential sales. It was like commercial sales for events.
Okay.
So when people get big tents and everything else, he would then be the guy who goes in and says, okay, you've got this tent. It's outside. It's 100 degrees. You need to cool the tent. And so it was like a portable HVAC system for that tent and everything else, and ended up killing it, because I mean, again, like that's one really good thing about our job and everything else here is because we're having to sell a product that no one needs, and it's
everybody needs it. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't listen to him.
I look at so I look at things like things that people need, like you need food. You need shelter. Everything outside of that is a want. So
you need protection and confidence. Excuse me, people. Yes,
but again, it's a highly niche industry that battles. And here's the other thing. I love it when people would ask me like, "Oh, what's your biggest competitor?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like baseball, basketball, football, dance, gymnastics." Wrestling, everything else.
Not another martial arts school.
Oh, you mean this other martial arts? I'm like, dude, are you serious? No, that martial arts school wouldn't even think of me as a competitor.
No.
Because we're competing against everything else. Anyway, so he did really, really well in the sales for that because it's kind of like conditions you for that, and then became a manager, and he now manages like a whole division. And that's what they do. They just go and they set up these big, massive refrigeration units for these big conventions and everything else that are.
Yeah, all of those guys were doing the thing when I was an assistant at Riverton.
Right.
So I never did the workouts with them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I wasn't considered
because you're a full-time instructor.
An instructor at that point.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, those guys left like shortly before I started going full-time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so Ryan left, and so Scott was running Layton, and Layton had like 80 students, probably 60 to 70 students in that time. And then
interesting,
he went to Bountiful, and Bountiful has its own little culture and everything else that was there. Everybody hated Scott.
Yeah,
literally hated him, and a lot of people left. Everything else, but Scott was then managing. Because this is the way Russell had it. Scott was managing the Bountiful studio and the Layton studio, and Christina was up in Layton. And Christina, because again, Christina, cute little, Asian girl, literally could sign anybody up. Like watching her sign people up, like it pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I say the same things, except I'm not cute and attractive and Asian.
Yeah.
And people just sign up for her no matter what. So I think she cranked that place up to like 80 to maybe almost 100 students.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why they stopped then. So
she got pregnant.
Oh, yeah, I think I knew that.
Yeah, and then Scott left, and Christina was going to keep running Layton, and Scott went to the Air Force because he, again, stand-up guy. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to man up, and I'm going to take care of this and everything else. Went into the Air Force. And then soon after that, I think Christina left. Because, again, she started to show, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
it's hard to teach when you're pregnant.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I don't know. I've never been pregnant, but I could assume it's hard.
I will assume having, having another human grow inside of you and, having to teach and kick and do all the stuff, it's hard.
Yeah.
But I was at West Jordan at the time, and then they went from, when Scott left, that's when Russell moved me up to West Jordan, or went from West Jordan to Bountiful.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I
he's like,
remember that.
yeah, he's like, well, you live over there and everything else. It'll be great, better for you. Because like the other place that they were thinking about moving me was American Fork, and I was like, don't move me to American Fork. I won't go.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, dude, and that like set everything up for like it literally started the dominoes moving, and then there was the Z split, and that's when I bought it. Whatever,
Yeah.
but anyway, so that's like the Scott story. So he went off and became an EMT in the Air Force and has been doing that. And he's stationed in Vegas right now, down in Nellis.
He's almost got
And
his
so
20, doesn't he?
He almost has his 20. Yeah,
Good for him.
he's a few years out, and then he'll be able to. And that's the great thing. Like my buddy, he was also an instructor, a red belt up in Layton with me. This is where I met Chris Carty. He was an airman, airman first class, just wet behind the ears still up at Hill, and he and I became really good friends and everything else. And he now he's like 2 years out from a year and a half from right now, but he just got a new rank, so he has to stay for 3 years, so that he'll be able to get that for retirement. But he is in Louisiana right now with there's a base that has all the B-52s.
Oh, nice.
The whole entire wing, like there's like 35, 40 of them that are there. And
I'll have to show you a funny meme that it deals with the B-52s. So
buff.
Yeah. No, Chris is the same way. Basically, Chris can retire anytime he wants.
Yeah.
He's on I think it's called an indefinite contract.
Yep.
But he can be like, I'm done.
Anytime he wants to step away, he can.
Yeah. He's still dealing with his surgery he had like a year ago to get heel spurs out.
No way.
Yeah. The wound has never really healed. He's been on a wound vac twice. It went from 6 to 8 weeks like recovery time from like start to finish, like no weight bearing for 3 weeks.
Right.
It's turned into a year-long process. I feel bad for him.
Oh my gosh, that sucks.
Yeah, and he's on like an antibiotic IV right now.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's got to walk around with the IV in, and
buddy.
It's rough. Yeah, but hopefully he can get that healed up soon.
Yeah, that is rough. Yeah, so my buddy Chris, because he's got like top secret clearance and stuff like that, because that's he's in communications and a lot of the stuff that he does. It's pretty cool stuff, but there's even stuff that I'm sure he can't tell me and everything else. But he was telling me that with the disability and stuff that he's incurred by being out in the field, like being deployed and stuff like that, and coming back, plus his retirement. And because he's got that security clearance, because he's planning on moving back here to Utah, he can go work for L3 Harris or, Lockheed or whoever in the area. And because he has that clearance, he'll get hired very quickly. And he says, dude, I'm going to be making literally like 3 times more money than I ever have made in the Air Force period.
Oh, yeah.
Afterwards.
It's always more in the civilian life.
Well, and it helps that you're making also that retirement. And he's like early 40s.
Yeah,
he'll make that for the rest of his life.
Double retirement.
So good for him. Like, yeah, it's a great time.
But let's keep this show on the road. Let's move on to our Liam's Facts. All right, last week's question. What was the first established police department in the U.S.? And it is Boston in 1838. I was shocked to hear that Salt Lake was the third.
So it's all those Mormons, man.
Yeah. It was Boston, New York, Salt Lake, and then Philadelphia.
Holy cow.
So
that is so weird.
All the northeast cities, and then way out west in Salt Lake.
Right. Well, and then you'd expect that.
Yeah.
Because again, like you look at the like the founding states and first communities and
stuff.
Everything should be
established more on
that East Coast. Like definitely Boston. Heck yeah, Boston.
Yeah.
I love Boston, by the way.
I have never been.
I landed when we did our Boston, New York tour for MCO 2 years ago. Yeah, it'd be 2 years because it was in 24. Yes. And it was when the Celtics, like, we landed the night the Celtics won.
The NBA
The
finals.
NBA finals, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez, yeah. I can.
And so we land, like, the whole city was green. Oh, it was so awesome.
Yeah.
We get there, the concierge guy's like, I'm gonna hook you guys up. We just won the championship. Ah!
Yeah.
We're like, I was like, yeah, Celtics.
Yeah, Boston's a big sports city, so that's for sure.
There's so much historical stuff there too.
Yeah, that's what I feel about Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's the other place I want to go to Philly.
Philly's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll have to go with us when we go for a football game and then just tour the city. It's a lot of fun.
Are we gonna give Maya some Valium before we go? Because I'd really like not to get in a fight.
No. You want Maya in all her rage and glory.
In all her rage and glory.
Yeah.
I absolutely love people that are like that.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, so
she doesn't censor herself.
She doesn't,
she
and
doesn't care.
And she's like up on her feet, like,
Yeah.
dude, like going over watching the game at your place was and having Maya just get up on her feet and be like, to Hulk out. Like, I was just like, dude, this is the greatest thing ever.
But this week's question, in lieu of St. Patrick's Day, in what city do they dye the river green on St. Patrick's Day? Yes, I think a lot of people should know this one. But in what city do they dye the river green for St. Patrick's Day? Make sure you leave your answer in the comments down below. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, and moving on to a word from our sponsor.
Yeah. TruMotion in motion, let's go. Gear up, stand tall, feel the flow. Kicking it strong with the best of the best. Streetwear fresh, put your style to the test. Karate vibes, yeah, we bring that heat. From tees to hoodies, keep it sharp, keep it sleek. T-shirt or hoodie, we got both. Subs for the grind, focus on growth. Stickers and swag, let the world know you rep style. Now let's go. TruMotion merch, yeah, we level up. Style so sharp, got that warrior's touch. Reppin' that swag, flex it, wear it proud. Support TruTalks and wear it loud. Discipline, power, the heart of the fight. Your fit's gotta match your unstoppable might. Tigers and dragons, bold on the sleeve. Step in the dojo, they know you don't leave. Oh, step up, don't wait. Rock that fit, let's elevate. TruMotion merch, yeah, we level up. Style so sharp, got that warrior's touch. Rocking that drip, yeah, you own the crowd. Support TruTalks and wear it loud. Yeah, we reppin' strong, no fear, no doubt. TruMotion merch shop is what it's all about.
Thank you, sponsor. Make sure you go on, grab some swag, support the channel. But let's continue this train going with our top 5 Irish movies. All right, this week's top 5 Irish movies. This was a lot harder than I originally anticipated because apparently I was confusing Scottish and Irish.
Okay.
There was a lot of now I obviously know the difference, but like there's a lot more like Scottish movies than there are Irish movies. So
and it's like you kind of have to stretch the Irish movie. You're like,
yeah, there's one that I think I'm calling it an Irish movie, but I don't think it is an Irish movie.
Right.
But it deals with Irish people.
Yeah, so right. You know.
I guess we'll go with that. But what do you got for your top 5?
So, trying to find 5.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I was
that
like,
I've
okay.
seen. And one of them, I honestly don't remember, but I know I've seen it at one point.
Right. So when you first sent me that, that was like, okay, this is what we're going to, the top 5, St. Patrick's Day movies. I was like, well, okay. Like St. Patrick's Day, like the first one that came to my mind. And again, this will let you know my childhood and what I grew up with. It's Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Darby O'Gill in the
It's
what?
an old Disney movie, okay?
I've never.
Don't yell
heard
at me.
of that. Darby
O'Gill and the Little People. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Okay.
right. It is an Irish,
Yeah.
leprechaun type, movie. All right, fine. The other one that is like, okay, you got to throw this one in there because, again, we're talking St. Patty's Day and leprechauns and everything else. The actual horror movie, which wasn't good, called Leprechaun.
Yeah. Jennifer Aniston was in that.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy that plays the leprechaun also plays a bunch of little people movies in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he was Willow.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis, yeah.
He's got a huge film career.
He really does. I mean,
He
and
was
again,
Peter Dinklage before Peter Dinklage.
oh yeah, dude, and he freaking chewed the scenery in Game of Thrones.
Peter Dinklage.
Dinklage.
He did a great
was,
job.
oh my gosh, so good. And then of course, like in one of the other movies that he's totally like, I mean, he's known for it, but like other people talk about it, he's like killed it in Elf.
Oh yeah. He must be a South Pole elf.
Call me Elf one more time.
Yeah. All right, so you got Leprechaun, the little
Darby
people.
O'Gill and the Little People.
Darby O'Gill and the
Came
little
out in like
people.
1953. Don't yell at me.
Okay.
Okay, and then of course, because yes, it's a little bit of Irish stuff like that. The Departed.
Okay. I
You
get
know,
that, yeah.
again, I think that is
Honestly,
that
you
is
could put any movie from Boston.
right, yeah. And the other one was Gangs of New York.
Yep, I've got that on my list because it's like it's Irish immigrants. And
Right.
So I was like, I'll count it.
And then again, like if we're talking like Irish, and I think this is, and again, this was just off the top of my head because we're talking about like Irish, Scottish stuff like that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, if we're just like going like Irish, I probably could have done this one too. Even though it's not quite like St. Patrick's Day, but Train Spotting.
Okay, yeah, it's a European.
Yeah.
They sound Irish.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are. Are they?
I think it's, yeah.
No, they are because
it's
Ewan
Irish.
McGregor's.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor's.
Yeah,
in it.
Ewan McGregor's in
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Train Spotting. I was like, okay,
Okay,
Train
Train
will
Spotting.
go. And that is all I've got.
Okay.
Because I'm like, what the? Like, and I was
once
actually
you
looking
hear some
for.
of mine, you'll be like, "Damn it, I should have done that."
I probably will.
Boondock Saints.
Shit.
Yes.
Son of a. I'm out. I'm
Yep,
gone.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Thank you.
Boondock Saints.
I will take my leave now.
Yeah. that one by far is like my favorite.
So good.
That's such a good movie.
It is so good.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I let our prison guard borrow that.
Dude,
So,
that is. Oh man, they are. Oh.
yeah.
And again, I just absolutely love the actors that are in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Oh, it's
If you
so
haven't
good.
seen Boondock Saints, you should watch Boondock Saints. It's a great movie.
So good. Oh my gosh.
When he talks about the rope, he's like, "You and your fucking
Your
rope."
fucking rope.
It's
Dude,
like-
Willem
and
Dafoe.
then he holds the knife. He's like, "All right, Rambo."
So good.
And then his friend that came in with the he's got fucking 6-shooter.
Yes.
What are you gonna do? The other two? Laugh him to death, funny man. Yeah. There's
Oh, dude.
8 bodies. Genius.
Dude,
Yeah.
and again, the actors chewed the scenery on that one. Like, and Willem Dafoe coming in
Yeah.
as like a gay,
Detective.
detective.
Yep.
Then this is like, of course, in today's day and age, it was like, oh, why is that such a big deal? It's like,
Yeah.
you got to remember when this movie came out,
Yep.
and like, it wasn't hidden. It was like out in the open,
Yep.
and he just, oh my
Yeah,
god,
he did great in that movie. So Boondock Saints.
so good.
Yeah, Gangs of New
so
York. Again.
Gangs of New York.
Same,
Yep.
Same thing.
Again,
The
that one's-
Leprechaun.
Yep.
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 In Bruges. Have you seen?
Oh
In Bruges?
yes.
Yes. That's a great
Okay.
movie with
Okay.
Colin Farrell.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. And then the last one, I know I've seen it, but God, I can't remember it at all. But I'm like, I got to put it because I know I've seen it, and I'm running out of movies. Is Far and Away.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen that, but I know it's like has to deal with Irish immigrants and stuff like that. So
dude, that's Nicole Kidman back in like
and Tom Cruise
yeah, Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. But again, dude.
Yeah, way back in the day. So, but
Yeah,
those are our top 5 Irish movies. It's way harder than I thought it was going to be.
yeah,
but
that was rough.
normally it's like I got like 18,000 honorable mentions. Now I'm like, God, I'm scratching to get 5.
Oh, dude, no joke. And I come in with my Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Yep, there you go. Hey,
I believe it's on Disney Plus, so you can look it up.
there you go.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
actually
an old
gonna
Disney movie.
I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah,
But-
it is, again, just to let you know, it was made in the 50s. You have to like I kind of have to hate to say, but like, have you noticed that like as you watch different epics of like, and I say epics by way of like times that movies were made,
Mm-hmm.
that the storytelling style has drastically changed.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like again, like you watch, like if you were to watch the old school not Beauty and the Beast, but like Sleeping Beauty,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and how they've got like all of these credits and everything else in the very beginning. And like, you're just like, is the movie going to start or is it?
Yeah.
And now it's just like you get the production house and then the movie starts. Or
Yeah.
sometimes you don't even get the production house, you know,
Yeah.
and the movie just starts.
Yep.
So just FYI, it's a different storytelling. Let it roll.
There you go. But all right, moving on to our Ask a Sensei. All right, this week's slang is Irish slang, obviously. So I hope I can pronounce these names right, but it'll probably sound better if you do an Irish accent, but I will not because I'm not very good at it. Or if I am, it'll probably be offensive. And we just don't want to go there.
Yeah, right.
Caddick.
I'm going to like, yeah.
Caddick. Now, I feel like if you'd say it with a thicker accent, it would kind of make sense.
Okay.
Okay. But it's CRAIC. Caddick. Caddick.
CRA.
So it almost sounds like character. Like imagine saying character with a thick accent.
Okay.
It's fun and entertaining.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Grand.
Oh. It's good times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fine. Okay. Or just acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Or acceptable.
Deadly.
I'm guessing it doesn't mean what the actual word.
Doesn't actually mean deadly.
Okay.
Yeah. Great, excellent, brilliant.
Oh, okay. Sure. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Egypt.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, say it with an accent. You'd
Yeah.
be like, Egypt.
Yeah.
Idiot.
You're like, okay, I get it. That makes
Yep.
sense.
Foolish person. Sound.
Something that's solid, wise.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fine. Good.
It's fine. Good.
Yeah, that's sound.
Yep.
Yeah. Banjix. Like, yeah. Yeah. Banjix. It's like this computer is all banjixed.
Oh, yeah. It means it's busted up.
Yeah, broken.
It's broken.
Yep.
Yep.
Gas.
Oh, that's awesome.
Funny and amusing.
Oh, funny and amusing. That's
Yeah.
right.
Gaff.
Well, I know what a gaffer is.
Not a gaffer. Gaff.
I don't know what a gaff is.
Home.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I would not have guessed that.
No. Scarlet.
Johansson.
Yes.
Very beautiful
But
one.
not her.
No?
No.
Oh.
It is extremely embarrassing. So imagine you go
Ah,
Scarlet.
they're very okay.
Yeah. You went Scarlet.
Yes.
Give it a lash.
Give it a lash.
Yeah. Giving it a lash.
I'm gonna go with like yelling at something.
I would assume
Or being
so too.
upset.
Like you give it a lashing.
Uh-huh.
But it's giving it trying something. Trying to do something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Minky.
Couture makes some really cool blankets.
Yes, they do. And I don't know if anybody has ever paid full price there
I don't think
because they're always like, "Oh, this blanket's $400, but it's 80% off today." Well, every time I've come in, it's 80% off.
everything's yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's dirty. and gross.
Minky, really?
Manky.
Okay.
Not minky.
Manky.
Manky.
Okay.
Not minky.
Yeah.
Manky.
Okay.
Yeah. Dry shite.
Is a lot better than a wet shite because
Yes.
it takes a lot less toilet paper to clean up.
I would say yes, but it's someone who is boring. They're dry shite.
They're
It's like
dry
this person's
shite.
dry shite. Yeah. It's like I said, if you put an accent behind it, you're like, oh, I get it.
I get it.
Yeah, but if you say it with us Americans, you're like, that's stupid.
That's dumb.
I will, yeah.
I will, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that like saying yes, I'm guessing?
No.
No.
It's a, I will absolutely not.
Oh.
I will, yeah.
I'm having a party over at my house. You want to come? I will, yeah.
Yeah, that's a no.
No.
Or no.
No.
Yeah. Bucketing down.
I would almost say that's probably close to doubling down.
Close. We use a different phrase in America, raining cats and dogs.
Oh, okay.
Bucketing down is raining heavy.
Speaking of words, small little tangent, but it'll work because it's kind of in the same area. Found out where we get that phrase "raining cats and dogs" from.
Okay.
Okay, so back in the day, and of course this happens in Ireland, England, Scotland, stuff like that. Okay, having like the type of roof on your house, like you don't want water and everything else. So thatched roofs were huge because like they were pretty inexpensive to get the materials for and everything else. It's just, the reeds and stuff like that. And then the thatching. And then once you did stick it on there, like, you had great insulation properties, kept everything watertight and sealed and airtight and all that other stuff in your home. So, but because of the way that it was and everything else, cats, dogs, and stuff like that would then get up on the houses and be up there because, like, it would be nice and warm and everything else. But when it would rain, that thatching becomes very slippery.
Oh.
And so when it rains, the dogs and the cats and everything else start coming off of the thatching when all that water starts coming down. And that's why they would say it's raining cats and dogs.
There you go.
I was like, it's raining cats and dogs out there.
Now you know.
Now you know.
But moving on to our next question. All right, what do you got for us?
Okay. So this one, first question, is mainly because of something that's been floating around the internet. I'm a Nathan Fillion fan. I think he's hilarious.
I like Nathan Fillion too.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a man's nerd, a nerd's man. Whatever way you want to call it. And so he's been like leaking out these little videos on his Instagram page.
Okay.
With him going to other, like people from this old show that he did back in the day called Firefly.
Yeah. Sarah loves that show.
Oh, dude. So good.
Yeah.
So good. So Firefly, for those of you guys who don't know, was a sci-fi, show that was on, oh, good heavens, like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was wildly popular, even though it did
maybe 2 seasons, and that was it. Done. And then they made a movie. The movie was kind of
Serenity.
Yeah, it didn't hit as good as it should have, but of course a lot of that was because, you start moving away from lore, which you'd think that Hollywood would figure this out by now.
Yeah.
And if you start moving from what the fan base is expecting, don't be surprised when the fan base looks at you and says, that's
when
hot
they
garbage.
don't show up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's been releasing like all of the old actors and stuff that were in these shows, which a lot of them have become wildly successful in their own right. And finally getting all these people together it looks like they're going to do a reboot.
Oh,
not a reboot, but like a sequel, like a continuation of that show. And I was like, oh man, that's going to be super cool and everything else. And I sat there and I started thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? Let me look at like other shows and stuff that are coming out by way of movies and everything else. And what's coming out that's new?
Not much.
And I sat there and thought about it. And I'm like, are we doing this just because like Hollywood is hitting the nostalgia button so much because that's where they know they can make an easy buck?
I personally
know?
think they know that it's a pretty easy cash grab
Right.
because people will go see it, especially if it's like what it's supposed to be.
It's got this cult following
Yeah.
and everything else. It's not really new.
Because it's one of those, like, I think Ben Affleck actually teases about it, and Matt Damon. They tease about it in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, where it's like, you got to do the safe picture before you do the art picture.
Yeah.
Then you can go back and then do a blockbuster, make a lot of money, and then every now and then you got to occasionally do one for your friend, and then they look at the camera because they're friends with Kevin Smith. And so it's kind of that. It seems like it's that formula for Hollywood, and it's like they do the one that they know they can make money on, and then they make the other ones that they know they probably won't make money on, but those are the quote unquote art pictures.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I've did you watch the podcast with Joe Rogan and Matt
Probably
Damon
not.
and Ben Affleck, Matt Damon went on Joe Rogan and did this huge interview and stuff with them. Was super good, and they kind of talk about that, and that's one thing that I've been noticing so much lately. And again, it's not just like, well, in the past couple of years. No, it's been like for the past probably 7 years.
Yeah.
7 to 10 years. Ever since we made the big switch and transition because of COVID. Okay. Thanks, freaking government and medical people. Okay. I love you, doctors, but you have to admit, call your losses when you call it. COVID was dumb. Anyway, so when we shut everything down and everything went to streaming, the rental DVD market died.
Yeah.
Not just like it was on its way out, because again, you had like Redbox and Netflix that you could get
Yeah.
DVDs from, and it was just like, okay, so you've got brick and mortars that really can't quite make it. No, it went from like, brick and mortar to Redbox and Netflix to streaming overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And like try to find a Redbox anymore. Like you can't even.
Oh yeah. Like even like the DVD section at like Best Buy.
Oh,
and
dude, it's
Walmart.
awful.
Like I remember I used to go buy physical copies
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh yeah.
No, not anymore.
Not
Which
anymore.
I kind of hate because, like, if your Wi-Fi goes out, you're hosed.
Oh yeah, you've got nothing.
And yeah, I honestly I don't really buy too many movies anymore in general, just because you can just stream it on your platforms.
Right.
But
Well, and so that's the thing, is that Matt Damon, Ben Affleck were talking about, because of that, he says there was a lot of movies that we could make that we knew, due to marketing, advertising, and then also making the film, and it would not be a high budget film,
mm-hmm.
but we knew in the beginning that we wouldn't quite make our money back on the theatrical sales. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because we would also have another resurgence in the DVD rentals and sales and stuff afterwards, and we would make up the money and everything else on that one.
I think
on the
I
back
remember
end.
seeing some clips about this.
Right.
Where he talked about how the lack of movie rentals or buying movies
Yes.
has really killed people from making quote unquote riskier movies.
Right.
Because they're like, dude, nobody's just going to throw money at this because they're not going to make any money back.
Exactly.
So,
Well, even like for example, and I think one of the greatest examples is Office Space.
mm-hmm.
So Office Space, for those of you guys who don't know, it's freaking this movie's hilarious. Came out, hit the theaters, and completely died.
Oh yeah.
Like it bombed so big,
Yet it's considered a great movie.
Then yeah, it is considered. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
considered a great movie. It hit the DVD rental market, and then people actually started renting it and watching it, and it became the most sold DVD by that movie company. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Like it beat everybody else out because everybody wanted it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this show's like freaking hilarious! Like
Yeah.
I live this. This is awesome. This is so true." Blah blah blah.
I think the same thing could be said for like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
And like Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I think,
Yeah.
is a great example of like
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this show is so freaking funny.
It did terrible in the theaters.
Yeah, and it just totally dies.
Yeah.
You know,
it's an awesome movie.
it is absolutely yeah. And those type of shows, like I'm starting to watch, like, and again, I look at Disney, okay, and again, you're not going to try to bait and switch me and say, "Well, Disney's always been doing this." Okay, you're right that Disney has always had like sequels and stuff like that that went straight to DVD or straight to VHS, and yes, that always happened. Okay. Yeah. But those straight to DVD, straight to VHS weren't like the top headlining movies that were coming out.
No, those were like the weird sequels of the main movie.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. That they knew they were never going to release theatrically.
Dude, we're never going to release this theatrically.
Yeah.
Okay? And so pre, 2020,
yeah.
A lot of those movies and stuff like that were brand new movies. Especially when they're like that, the Pixar Disney collaboration was so huge.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, we had like, The Incredibles, you had Monsters Inc., you had like really innovative storytelling and everything else that's there.
Movies.
And then it forced Disney to step up their game because it made Disney look like they suck. And so then you're starting to watch all of this and you're like, oh, this is great. And now that you're watching what's coming out, it's like, oh no, we're just going to do a sequel of this one, or we're just going to do a live action remake of this one, and you're just like, the live action sucked.
Speaking of live action, like, have you started watching the One Piece live action on Netflix?
I think I got into like part of season 1, and it's
I
tip my hat to him.
I like it.
It is really good.
I like it.
It is.
And granted, now I went in watching it not really having watched the anime.
Okay.
So now I am starting to watch the anime, and I'm getting a little bit more like I'm becoming okay with One Piece. I don't hate. I used to hate it. I was like,
this is dumb,
stupid.
It is anime tongue in cheek.
Yeah, but I actually like it, and I like the character Luffy. But the live action One Piece on Netflix is
really good.
It's really good.
I would almost say like I think the best like animation to live action that's ever been done, and like fight me on it, I'll win every time, is the How to Train Your Dragon.
That was good, yeah.
Because it's
basically shot for shot of the anime.
And it's the only one that they brought back the original director who did the cartoon to do the live action. They're like, why would we change directors?
Yeah.
If we want it to be live action, we might as well bring in the guy who had the vision for it in the first place. And so it was, shot for shot. And there's a lot of that in One Piece with the live action, but there's some that like, again, I think it's like a money grab. Like the anime Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Great anime. Again, only went for like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Like I could have gone for like 20 seasons, like freaking make a Dragon Ball Z out of that thing. Like it was great. They made the live action and it just didn't hit.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell is another one that just like really.
Yeah, the movie didn't do well.
It didn't do well. Like, and I love this the anime of Ghost in the Shell. But again, I'm like watching all of this happen, and I'm like, and it makes me think again. So I start thinking about this, like, okay, our movie houses and everything else are being extremely safe because again, they're thinking about investors and thinking about money and thinking about this. And I know who they're targeting. They're targeting like the lower end of Gen X and the millennial generation because they're the ones who are out there having jobs. They're not remaking movies for like, the late baby boomers and early Gen X. Not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, cool. You're going to keep pushing this button to the point that you're going to run out of stuff to remake. And then what are you going to do?
Yeah. No, at that point, you have to start coming up with some original ideas.
Well, and the other thing that, so Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, which again, this will follow up to the second question. If you're interested in this type of stuff, watch the Joe Rogan interview that they do together. And I didn't know this, but Matt Damon and Ben Affleck basically are creating their own movie house.
Oh. And
they're redoing how people get paid, redoing how like everything works and everything. And they talk about, they go in depth.
And I'm assuming it's going to be in like Texas.
Probably.
Yeah. 'Cause I've heard a lot of movie production places are moving out of LA.
Oh, the LA's dead.
Yeah.
Like it's either Georgia, Toronto.
Netflix is in New Mexico.
Yeah. And so, but they were saying like because they did this show RIP on Netflix.
Yeah.
That they had everything written out and everything else, and the Netflix executives sent back the script and they're like, you need to rewrite this. And they're like, no, it's really good and perfect of the way it is. They're like, no, what you need to do is we need to retell the people what the plot line is in the story at least. I want to say they said 3 to 7 times in the movie if it's released on Netflix. And they're like, why? They're like, because people are sitting there on their phones watching the show in the background while they're playing on their phones. So you need to remind them what the plot line is as you go through it in order to remind them what's going on in the story.
Interesting.
And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You're having to spoon feed stories to people.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're spoon feeding stories to people and you're just remaking everything. So what's the point? You know, and so like, yeah, like I'm just like, okay, cool. So like, you know, as I was starting to think about this, like again, I got really excited with the whole Nathan Fillion Firefly, you know, 20 years later and everything else. I think it's going to be cool. Hopefully they make some really good stories with it. But then I'm thinking, is it going to be original or are you just doing it for a money grab? Like,
hopefully both.
You know, like how is this going to work out? Like, you know, am I now a part of the system because I'm dumping into, you know, this machine of churning out old stuff because it's a safe money bet that, you know, they're not willing to make new stuff. And that's why, like, again, I'm excited for, like, I thought when I heard that Christopher Nolan was making a movie about Oppenheimer, I was like, dude, and I love Christopher Nolan. I was like, are you joking me? Like, how is this going to be good?
Yeah, I didn't even want to go see it.
Oh, no, until I actually sat down and watched it. And then I was pissed that I didn't go see it in the theaters.
Yeah, I still don't really care.
You know, have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen it?
No, I really don't have any desire to go see it.
Just really good.
I'll go see the Odyssey.
And that one. So I was like, you're doing the Odyssey, like no joke, oldest story known to man.
Yeah.
Right? The Odyssey. Okay. You know, let's see how this is going to go.
And then crazy because talking about like going and seeing it, we went and saw Scream a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Scream 7. And it's sad because, like, granted, we went like 5 o'clock on a Sunday, something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, it was like a non-prime time.
Right.
There was hardly anybody there, and it was like over $100 for the 4 of us for tickets and popcorn and a drink and stuff like that. Nothing crazy extravagant.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, dude, no wonder nobody's going to the movies.
Yeah.
They can stay home. They can wait a month or two, stream it on their TV at home. And majority of the people have big, nice flat screen TVs with surround sound and all that stuff, and they don't need to go to the movies.
Well, and especially, like, again, you start looking at that, your barrier to entry, you know, like you could get an 85-inch LCD TV now for like a couple $1,000, you know.
Well, shoot, you can go to Costco and buy one for $800.
Right. So you get $800, and you get a sound bar for another $800.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so
sound bars are stupid. Don't buy sound bars.
Well, no, I'm like talking like a full sound bar system and stuff.
Stereo,
Yeah.
The receiver. Yeah, don't buy sound bars. Sound bars are bad.
Yeah.
Sound bars and I don't have a good history.
You do. So the one that I have,
I hate
I do absolutely love it.
I hate sound bars.
So mine is the I've got the 7.1. The reason why I like this one is that it's got the wireless rear speakers. That's one of the reasons why I like it so much, is that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have to like sit there and be like, all right, how am I gonna like, you know, string wires and everything else to this, you know.
At our house,
we
had them run the wires through the walls.
Yeah.
When they were redoing it.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason. Either that or you just buy like a wireless rear adapter
Yeah.
So it just goes down to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, yeah, exactly. And it's like people just wait.
Yeah.
So it's like movie theaters. Like I am waiting to see how long the Megaplex 20 in the district lasts.
Yeah.
It's dying.
Yeah.
It's dying. So movie theaters are going to go back to where they're like either one screen and it's a big place with one screen, or they have like the holiday Megaplex that we went and saw Superman in.
Yep.
Where there's like 6 theaters.
Yep.
It's like that's how theaters are going to go back to. And I'm actually down for it. I like those smaller theaters.
I think what's going to happen is kind of what's going on. Have you been to Fat Cats?
Yeah, well, yeah. They have a Megaplex in Daybreak that's bowling, arcade, have a couple of theaters, and like, restaurants.
Okay, so at Fat Cats, it's a little bit different. This is kind of where I think the innovation that has to happen inside of theaters, especially now because it's in a post-COVID world, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I think this happened again. I love that this was like within our lifetime. That I remember having to go. You'd buy tickets to go see the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd wait at the doors in line.
Oh yeah.
To make sure that you could get a good seat because there was no assigned seating.
Yeah.
The freak who invented that? Larry H. Miller in the Megaplex.
Yeah.
He invented that.
Yep.
Because I even remember like in the beginning.
I thought it was stupid. I was like, I have to pick my seat before I go in. This is stupid.
When that first came out, like, this is dumb.
Now I'm like, oh God, I am so glad that this is a thing.
You do it once, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to like show up and like wait in line with
I waited in line for like 4 hours to go see The Return of the King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah.
And get good seats at least.
Yeah. But now it's like, so that was a huge thing. And I remember like when we went to go watch, I can't remember what movie we watched in California.
It was either Paul or Pitch Black or
it was some action movie. So it might've been Pitch Black.
The Riddick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Planet
of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes. That's right. And I remember like we went and I'm like, cause again, like, I'm like, okay, we're from Utah.
Yeah.
Apparently I think whatever comes to Utah is definitely everywhere in the United States.
Yeah, no.
Nope. I remember buying a ticket and I'm like, do we pick seats? And like, no, just show up and like, you have to go pick a seat, whatever. I'm like, are you like, what type of caveman?
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I was like, what?
You mean we have to go find our seats?
It's like a baby's toy.
Yeah.
Like,
stupid.
Old line out of like Back to the Future. You have to use your hands with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was just like that. This is so weird. And so like that was a big, huge innovation in the movie theater industry, in my opinion. And then of course with Larry H. Miller's, of course, having all the food and everything else right there that you could take into it.
Yeah.
Big innovation.
Yeah, they've got that.
I think the next step, and again, a lot of places have been doing this it's not new, but I think this is where the next step is going to have to go, where it's going to have to become like a Broovies type environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you go and, with apps and everything else now, you could just have an app where you would just put your order in at your seat. Yeah. And then, of course, the people would then bring it to you and everything else, which means you're going to have to totally redevelop and redesign every single one of your theaters to have a place where you could put your food down and everything else.
Well, not only that, but like you're going to have to change laws.
Yep.
Because
I
remember, I think it was with Deadpool, there was a huge uproar about Deadpool being shown at Broovies because it had like quote unquote nudity.
Oh, yeah, the first one, yeah.
And you can't serve alcohol if there's like quote unquote full nude.
Right.
So it was interesting that that was an issue.
That becomes an issue now. Yeah.
So, or at least I think that's the way it is here in Utah.
I know for certain gentleman clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That if there's alcohol involved, it can't be completely nude.
Yeah, I don't know all the weird rules, but Utah has some weird rules that way.
Yeah, they do. And again, like you say, they're like, oh, it's just Utah. Nope. It's everywhere else. There's a whole bunch of other places that are going to have different rules and stuff like that. But I think, in my opinion, that in order for theaters to survive, you're going to have to offer more than just like sit down and have a movie.
Yeah, I agree. But
So
let's continue this show going and get to our third question. All right. Question number 3, in lieu of, St. Patrick's Day. Do you believe in luck? And what does luck mean to you?
that is a hard question.
It is. And I think it's a question of like using the term luck. And if you said, I view luck as like faith. It's like, do you have faith?
Right? Okay.
And in terms of, if you say that, then it's like, yeah, because things that can happen to you because of your conviction and your faith and how you carry yourself will be perceived as luck, in my opinion. So, and to say someone's quote unquote born lucky, I don't necessarily believe in that. I mean, some people are born in different situations and you could construe that as luck.
Yeah.
But I think of luck in terms of like faith. That's how I view luck, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you took the word luck and you substitute it with the word faith, in my opinion, they're saying the same thing, but with different words.
Yeah, I see where you're coming in. I'm seeing where you're coming in on that. So shoot. So yes, there are a lot of people out there that use that term, and I think they don't use it correctly.
I agree.
That they use it as a blanket term of saying someone else got something,
so they're lucky.
That it looks easy that they received that. I'm going to call that lucky so I can paint that one situation.
So I don't have to place blame on me not being where I'm at and them being where they're at.
Or taking the accountability and realizing that, where they got isn't because of what happens right now, but the 12 years of preparation that happened before.
Yeah.
Right?
Luck is, what is it? Action meets preparation.
Right.
That's luck.
Yeah. And I kind of think about it like I don't think luck, so you're going to have to follow me on this. I don't think luck is a skill, but being able to recognize opportunities when they come and being able to take action upon those opportunities is a skill.
Yeah, no, I get that.
There are people that, again, like, that I've met in my life that I'm just like, how did you get to the point where you like learned how to do this?
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
One of my students that I taught, electrical engineer, and again, I have in my mind what I think an electrical engineer makes and everything else. You make a salary of $150,000 a year, which great income.
Mm-hmm.
You have a master's. Okay, great. You work 40 hours a week, maybe 50 if something goes sideways. And then after talking to him, he was like, no, I don't get paid like that. Because he quit one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like he quit his job. And generally, as a martial arts instructor, what does that mean?
It means no money.
It means no money. It means also that you're going to quit karate. And so, and I asked him, like, oh, man, like, that sucks. You got any prospects? He says, oh, yeah, like, I already have an offer. I'm like, hold on. When did you quit? He's like, at 3. I'm like, when did you have the offer? By 6. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, great. Like, hopefully you got a raise out of it. And he says, yeah, I did. I got a 1% raise. It's great.
Yeah, 1%.
1%?
Yeah.
Out of 150, like in my mind, of course, I might start doing the math. $150,000, 1% is $1,500 over 12 months. It's like that's like $107 a month extra.
Yeah.
And you want to break that up because generally people get paid like once every 2 weeks, so you're looking at like $50, and that's pre-tax dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, 1%. Like I even said that, I'm like, that's not a lot. And he just smiled and looked at me and he says, the way I get paid, it's a ton. I was like, how do you get paid? He says, I get paid on the job. I'm like, okay, fair. Like, I like that idea. Get paid on what you do. Great. Like, what do you mean? He says, I get paid a percentage of the gross bill. I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, like on a contract that comes through and I get paid on the gross. Like, okay, like what's an average job that you do? It's like $10 million. Oh, 1% is now a totally different world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did you, and again, you start thinking like, you're lucky. You're lucky to, no. He figured this out.
Yeah. He's skilled.
He was able to find that skill set and develop it, like we said, like when action meets opportunity, to like when those opportunities come up, is like, no, this is the job I'm going to take. I'm going to be making an extra 1% on, $100 million project.
Yeah.
Oh, that's now instantly a lot of money. And so I don't necessarily believe that things happen by way of like, I'm just lucky, like again, talked about Deadpool, Domino is in there. I'm just lucky. That's not a superpower. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. No, it's not. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That's a great movie.
It's so good. Anyway, but I do think that there is a skill in recognizing the opportunities that come when they're in front of you. And part of that skill is being able to recognize the opportunity, being able to do the risk assessment with it, and being able to move forward
and take the action.
The action, even if you're afraid.
Yeah. Because it's scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
I mean, there are things that I've done post-divorce that, like, I've told people, I'm like, yeah, this is what I did. And they just look at me and they're like, how could you do that? I'm like, well, I could do that. I'm like, well, what if you lose it all? And I just smile. I'm like, I've lost everything before.
It's
really not that big of a deal to me anymore. Like, what do you mean? It's like, again, having gone through my house fire, like standing right in front of my house and watching the whole thing burn to the ground, losing everything. It's like I've lost it all before.
Yeah. And it's stuff. You can get stuff back. Things you can't get back or people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I mean, and honestly, having my dog pass away in the middle of that. Yeah. Which he was a family member at that point. And it was awful. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was, and that life experience, and when I tell people like, yeah, these are the investments that I make, they're like, that is ridiculously, do you realize how risky that is? Yes. And they're like, why aren't you freaking out? It's like,
because it's just money.
I've lost everything.
You can get money back.
Yeah. My risk assessment meter's broken. Like I don't have one anymore.
Yeah.
Not only like, like again, like just take the past 6 years of, my life. It's just like there's so many things that have happened that I just don't have that risk assessment anymore. And I'm like, no, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So do I think that there's luck? No. Do I think that there's a lot of work and action that you put into things to then execute on opportunities that show up? Yes. Do you have to be willing to see those opportunities? Yes. If you keep your head in the sand, and I think a lot of this goes back to being, I don't want to say like, the Pollyanna type, rose-colored glasses, everything's great, but keeping your eyes constantly open for opportunities for you to succeed in life. I think there's a lot of people out there that life always sucks.
There's opportunities everywhere, but you're just not looking for them.
And take little opportunities.
Yeah.
Little opportunities to like, oh yeah, like, and I'm not even saying like, opportunities to make money or opportunities to succeed. I mean, like,
did you say hi to somebody that walked past you?
Right.
Did you thank the person that gave you your groceries?
Right.
Did you like smile at the server? Like simple things that are not quote unquote monetary. But did you try to make a difference in the environment around you?
Right.
Positively.
Right.
Not sucking the life out of everybody.
Right.
Yeah, don't be a succubus.
Well, and again, like it's to kind of get a little religious on it, but if you believe, again, like I'm going to kind of go down the Christian, theology here, Christians like, well, I'm a child of God. Okay. Yeah, you are. If let's go down the logical fallacy here of like, if you are a child of God, then what do you have? Well, what do you mean? What do I have? Like, do you have all of the, like, if you're a child of somebody, if I'm the child of a king, what will I eventually become? I will eventually become the king, right? So that means that I have all the rights and the responsibilities and powers and stuff of being a king, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Am I going to get that immediately? No. So I've got to build it. It's like, okay, well, if you're a child of a god and you're going to become like, I will become like God. Okay, great. Then why don't you do that now?
Yeah.
Like, well, God made the world. Okay. Yeah. Guess what you can make?
Mm-hmm.
You can make your own world. Well, it's hard. That's the one thing in the Bible that like everybody misses, that like it doesn't say like,
Yeah.
it was like 6 days. Oh, it's got to be easy for God. Nobody said that.
Yeah.
And it's not easy for us, and it shouldn't be.
Exactly.
So
So
anyway,
get out there, create your own luck.
create your own luck.
But all right, moving on to our last question. All right, what's our fourth and
Last
final
question, fourth and final question. Like I said, it was going to be a little bit of a segue from the other one with Joe Rogan, Ben Affleck. Okay. What are your personal favorite, like we can go categories of podcasts or actual individual podcasters, and what do you think that says about somebody in the content that they consume? Or can you like, if somebody says, oh yeah, like these are the type of podcasts I listen to,
Yeah.
can you kind of look at that and be like, oh, your interests lie here. From your interests, I
Yeah.
can interpret that you're this type of person, or these are the things that you like, or this is the type of personality that you have.
Yeah.
Do you think that is something that's out there? Because I've also thought about that with like TV shows that people watch, because I
Yeah,
think
we
about that
kind
with
of
me.
we kind of talked about that with like hobbies, like what does someone's hobbies say about you?
Right.
So
Very similar, right?
I agree. I think it is very similar. I think it can, and I think it can't. Because clearly, obviously, if you like Rogan, then you're automatically going to be painted as a certain type of person. Okay,
In today's political climate,
Yes.
unfortunately.
No,
Which is
but-
funny because I get, oh, you're far right. It's like, do you understand who Joe Rogan is?
Yeah, Joe
Like, you're
Rogan
an idiot.
is the furthest
But anyway.
thing from far right.
Yeah, I
But-
do get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like I like to watch, I don't necessarily watch or listen to like podcasts a lot anymore. I like Andy Frisella's podcast. I listen to Rogan's every now and then. Seems like a lot of the stuff I watch or listen to now is like, I follow and watch some Eagles content creators on YouTube.
Okay.
But it's usually stuff like under 30 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
Like I try not to if I'm going to watch something over 45 minutes, I'll watch like a TV show or a movie.
Got it.
So it's like I used to listen to podcasts in like while driving. Now I listen to more books and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I mean, definitely it will kind of tell you your interest, because it's like, I like sports, so I listen to sports content.
Mm-hmm.
I like, I guess they call them gun tubers, because I like firearms, so I watch some of those. I like anime, so I'll watch every now and then. I'll watch some anime content, like where they're talking about this or that. And so I do think that it will kind of tell a person what they like and what they're kind of like, but I don't think it tells you who the person is.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Because I mean, you could be anti-gun, but yet pretty conservative, or you can be super liberal and like guns. So, I mean, I've met both.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily think because of like what you're interested in will tell you everything about who you are. It'll give you a snapshot,
Right.
but I don't think it'll be like, oh, because this person's like this, they're like that. Now, you will instantly form that judgment, but you have to get to know the person before you can like say that's who they are.
Right.
It's
right.
like if they like Nick. Let's take Nick in West Jordan. He likes heavy like
Yeah.
rock metal.
Yes, he does.
And you're just all like, he's told me a couple of the names of the bands, and I'm like, what are they called? And I'm just like, dude. But Nick's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But yet some of the stuff he listens to, you'd be like, dude, you'd think he's like some like like violent, like menacing creature, but yet it's not how he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty soft spoken, but yet you listen to his music and you're like, dude, what's wrong with you? Him and Martine battle all the time about that and be like, dude, anytime our students are angry, it's because your music's on. So
he's got some Gojira going on in the background.
oh man, I'll tell you one. I don't even think I can say the name on online or on YouTube at least, so we won't try. But yeah, he's told me some of the names. I was like, holy cow, dude! It's like, you listen to that? He goes, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. But I think it gives you a snapshot of who they are, but it doesn't tell you everything about who they are.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah. Yeah, I kind of think that for sure. Where it's like, oh, like again, we'll take kind of like Rogan because he's pretty polarizing right now, even though he's only been polarizing for the last few years. But and clearly he's done the same thing the entire time.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you like, or RFK Jr. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, if you like him, then you're some crazy like anti-vaxxer and
Right.
stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of snap judgments. Or honestly, like, we'll take it the other way too. It's like, if you see somebody with blue hair, you're like, oh, they're instantly like this person. No.
The Skittle
that's-
hair people.
That's not
Yeah.
true. Now, are there people like that fit the stereotype? Of course, there are always people that fit the stereotype. That's
Yeah.
why we have stereotypes.
Right.
But that doesn't, like, you have to get to know people. So use it as a way to like gauge on how you might interact with them, but don't base it on who they might be.
Well, and I think that's, again, kind of goes back to, so I've started to classify certain things as like, as human psychology, not left, not right. This is just how people operate.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of hit it when it's just like, we do make those snap judgments because it is our human psychology to determine very quickly whether something is safe or not.
Yeah.
You know, and very, very fast, you can just look at something and be like, oh, safe, oh, dangerous. And I need to be able to have a container for that, you know, and because certain people know how to manipulate those feelings and emotions inside of people, they do. You know, it's like, this person is safe. This person is dangerous.
Yeah.
So if you ever see this person, they're dangerous. And it's funny because I haven't said who's safe or dangerous, but I'll guarantee you, people who are listening, the instant that hit your head, you had a very, very clear image of someone who was safe. And when I said that person's dangerous, you had a very clear image of who was.
And it's different for everybody.
And it's going to be different for everybody.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you know, for some people, that safe person is, you know, could be family.
Yeah.
It could be friends. It could be your significant others. It could be the, you know, school that you're affiliated with. Like, oh yeah, like I'm safe. Like, you know, like, yeah, this is a safe group of people. Like, oh yeah, like, you know, like I go to the U, or I go to BYU, or I go to, you know, Weber, you know, all the universities here in Utah. You know, those are this one's dangerous. Oh yeah, like I remember we went and we played you know, BYU, and oh my gosh, it was awful. Okay, it's fair, you know. But we make those snap judgments.
Yeah.
You know, but I kind of think it's interesting because even though, yes, we do make those snap judgments, we do kind of have to figure out who people are. But I think it's also a good way to kind of look at somebody and be like, okay, so like, oh, you listen to sport podcasts and everything else. Okay, so like, you like watching sports. Like, what type of sports? Oh, so it kind of helps also give us a way that we can learn more about the other person as well.
Yeah, and you can learn how to communicate with them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, so like, you know, why does, you know, okay, let's like figure out like, why does Nick like that type of music? Like, what about it? And he's like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, so he likes this, everything else. And you find out like, oh, you're kind of like an audiophile, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, do you have vinyl? Yeah.
He actually just started collecting vinyl.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, so you've got like your own, like, okay, so what type of receiver do you have? What type of stereo system do you have? Do you have like, and you can kind of get that person to go off. Again, like for me, a lot of people know, I love cooking, and that's like, if someone was to sit down and ask me, like, what do you generally listen to, when you're on, it's like cooking and getting in shape. One of them feel like I'm really good at, the other one I suck at completely. But yeah, and you watching stuff that my son watches. The reason why he watches a lot of that stuff is because like, he watches a ton of, like, he's got certain creators that he listens to that are on Minecraft and stuff like that. Well, why does he watch those people? Well, because they're creating things in Minecraft that are really kind of cool, and he wants to build that.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes in like, oh, okay. He also likes Lego. Oh, okay. So you just like building and creating stuff. Yeah. Okay, cool. Or his new passion and everything else, again, he's a kid. He's probably got ADHD like I do. His new hobby of the day right now is Formula One.
Okay.
And so, yes, I came home last night, woke up at like midnight. He's still in his bedroom, like, watching the sprint races that are going on right now.
There you go.
Was up until like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like, dude, when are you supposed to be gonna get up? So 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, I've already got my list of like racer, drivers and everything else that are gonna win. Blah blah blah. And he's like, he's got it all down.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's also a really good way, because I knew of Formula One beforehand. I had no idea. Like, if you were to ask me, like, okay, like, who are the drivers of Formula One? I could name two.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen. That's it.
I can't even tell you one.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so, but if you were to ask, like, okay, well, what are the cars that race in Formula One?
Formula One cars.
Formula One cars, but the brands.
Oh, yeah, like Honda, Ferrari.
Honda,
yeah.
Ferrari, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's pretty much where I was at too. But it's one of those things that I think, like you said, I think it gives you a little bit of a sense of like what that person's interested in, so that you can start asking more in-depth questions to find out who
can
they
help you
are.
relate to them more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
But let's move on to our fight scene. All right, this week's fight scene is we have Lucky the Leprechaun. That's the Lucky Charms cereal leprechaun.
Hush me, Lucky Charms.
And the bad leprechaun from the scary movies. So
are we talking like Lucky the Leprechaun also out of the Rick and Morty universe too?
No, just from the cereal box.
Okay.
I've never watched Rick and Morty, so I know. Yeah, I should watch it.
You're missing out, bro.
Yeah, but all right. So who do we got? We've got Lucky the Leprechaun versus the scary leprechaun.
The scary leprechaun. Duh.
Yeah, I know. I don't even want to go through the 3 rounds. It's like he wins.
No,
3-0.
because like Lucky Charms,
Yeah.
they're magically delicious.
I almost went with the assassin from Austin Powers. It's like, yeah,
His
Always
always
after
after
me,
me,
the
Lucky
Lucky
Charms.
yeah. So I almost went with him, but I was like, yeah, let's just do 2 leprechauns. But I agree, this scary leprechaun's gonna wipe the floor with
Every
him,
day.
so.
Every day. Yeah, I'm sorry. Lucky the Leprechaun from Lucky Charms has no
chance.
self-defense capabilities at
No.
all. Like, what is he going to do? Throw a box of cereal at you?
Exactly.
You
Run away and hide.
Right.
So, but that was a pretty easy fight scene.
That was easy fight scene.
Yep. But all right, moving on to our jokes of the week. All right. Where do leprechauns hang out? The patio.
Oh my God. That's bad.
Yep.
That's bad.
That's a good one. What are you talking about? That's not bad. Or what kind of conversations can you expect from a leprechaun?
What kind?
A bunch of small talk.
Oh my God. Awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Why do people wear shamrocks on St. Patrick's Day?
Why?
Because real rocks would be too heavy.
Shamrocks. That's a good one. I had to think about that for a second. Sham. They're
Yeah.
sham. Gotcha. That's a good one. That's one worth remembering.
Yeah.
Any others?
Why did the leprechaun turn down a bowl of soup?
Why?
Because he already had a pot of gold.
A pot of gold.
A pot of gold.
Yeah. But all right, let us know your favorite leprechaun or Irish joke. I try to stay away from the Irish jokes, but we could have been here all day. But all right, moving on to our shout outs. Anybody like to shout out today?
Oh, I've shouted out a lot of people. I'm gonna shout out you.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Because speaking about like luck and everything else, and making luck, like again, action. Luck is what happens when action meets opportunity. Yeah. Like I wouldn't be here doing the podcast and stuff if it weren't for your action.
Yeah.
And taking the opportunity to sit down and do this. And
well,
so
it's been fun, even though everybody misses Steven. It's been a blessing because it's allowed you to be a little bit more involved with coming to the studio, starting to train again. We get to hang out every week because that was probably one of the toughest things about you stopping. It's like we would see each other at least 2 or 3 times a week. And then it went into like
nothing.
Yeah. Like I saw you maybe once a year.
Yeah.
It's like, that was terrible.
Well, and that's another thing that so for anybody who has a spouse who has done something for a very long period of time with a very certain group of people,
mm-hmm.
and just to let you know, if you ever ask them to stop doing it, okay, whether you think it's toxic or not, I really don't freaking care at this point.
Yeah.
But you have no idea what you're really asking. Because you see it as just a job. You see it as like, you're going to Home Depot. Who freaking cares? Like, like, it's like, no, it's like, I've worked with a certain group of people for 17 plus years. I know these people.
Yeah, they're family.
I see at that point, yes, it is a family relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And when I walk away from it, I'm not just walking away from like, I'm just going to, close the business down and like walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, there's relationships there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder than just walking away.
Yeah.
And I don't think people truly understand what that means.
No.
And especially like with, at the time that I did do it and walk away from it, it wasn't just like, oh, well, everything was still okay in like the other realms of my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it was complete upheaval everywhere. So it just sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked awful for me.
Yeah. So don't do that.
Don't do that. So
but all right.
Shout out to you.
Oh, well, thank you. Shout out to you for coming every Saturday. So it's early mornings, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
All right. But moving on to our final thoughts. All right. The final thoughts is kind of like what we've been echoing about the whole time. It's like, create your own luck.
Yeah.
Like, don't rely on things to just happen to work out for you. You can have faith that things will work out for you, but faith requires action.
Yeah. Well, and you have to have, like, again, you can hope that things are going to happen, but hope doesn't require any action.
Mm-hmm.
Hope is you just sitting on the couch being like, I really wish that, I would come into a lot of money. It's like, well, what have you done to create that?
Exactly.
Well, nothing. I just want it to come without any action towards me.
The universe will give it to me.
The universe, right? I'm going to use the secret.
Did you ever see that one commercial? It was these business people in a gondola, and it stops moving. And they're like, oh, I just saw this on a blah, blah, blah. Like, we just have to think positively and everything will take care of it. And people are doing this whole like, and then some dude looks around and he sees a button that says go, and he hits the button and it takes off again. And it's like, that's true.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, just being able to go out and create the opportunity and be able to, build upon that thing.
Yeah.
It's huge. And so, the thing is that again, having the faith and having, thinking that the luck is going to eventually come,
mm-hmm.
because again, I think it's a human thing that we are very short-sighted.
Yeah.
Again, for me, like I am, put on a bunch, again, people look at me, I put on a bunch of weight, like you didn't put on anything, But for me, it's a lot. I want to lose it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen in a week.
Yeah.
Well, I've been working really hard. You've only been doing it for a week.
Yeah.
I've been working really hard for a month. You've only been doing it for a month. Did you gain all that weight in like 30 days?
Yeah.
No. How long did it take you? Oh, it took me about 6 to 9 months. Okay, good. Then shut up. Keep working hard. And you're going to have to keep working hard because it's going to take longer to do that. Yeah, it's the same thing with everything else. Well, I'm poor. It's like, okay, well, how long have you been working on not being poor?
Yeah.
Well, like a week. It's like, okay, a year. Okay. If you've been working on it for like more than like 30 years, then that's a you problem.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what you're doing wrong.
Exactly. So create your own luck.
Yeah.
Make things happen. And don't just wait for something to happen for you. You got to make it happen.
Yep.
But thanks for kicking it with this
Sweet.
week, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.